this is what you need out there if you're going to start saying that their globe is fake. You need this question. You need to be protected by this question. You have to have this on you at all times. You have to walk around, right? And you got to go, how would you know? And then the person freezes. Because they go right away, you ask them a question. What happens when you ask someone a question? Well, they try to answer it. So when you ask them photo or painting, and then they go photo, and you go, how would you know? They have to go, how would they know? So that's everything they were told, but they never witnessed this point of view. So it's really simple. It's by putting the word photo or painting with a globe that you know most assuredly 1,000,000% I painted, and it's here in the back, and you've seen it in the previous videos, and you see me painting it. You know, despite what others said, I put out time-lapse footage because they were like, I don't know if he's even a real painter. I don't know if he's a real painter. He's not even a real painter. I heard he's a fake painter. Let's see you paint. I've never seen you paint anything. Well, now, have you seen me paint something? Because you could have looked at the old videos. So I decided, well, I've been traveling so much. Why don't I just park here for a bit and show the kids some painting? So I parked so I could show you some painting that I paint and some of this that I painted. Right? So now I showed you I'm a painter. Some people said, I don't know if he's a real painter, if he's a real painter that worked for NASA. I don't even know if he's a real painter. Okay. So I started the flat earth. I told you how. I painted the globes. I know people who paint art for NASA. And I painted all this, and now I'm on the floor, and you saw me paint it, right? And you saw me paint this shirt. I stopped. I took some time out. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. Is there some discussion that math may not be a painter? Hold on a second. Let's clear this up, because you're not going to try that little smear. And since they've done that, wow, look at the numbers on our channel. But isn't it impressive that live we get like 600 or 1,000? I mean, Alex Jones gets 1,000, but mine doesn't keep going. It just stops. So that is a sign they're burying the channel. And now it's just the fledglings that are coming in. But here's where we started it. Just at the time we knew they were going to start doing that. Just at the time we knew they were going to start doing that. We managed to, eke away, grab what we could from the sales of the shirts, get it going, get her going, and I sold a bunch of work, and now I'm here. So now I want to bring all of you in here. I want to bring everybody in here. I want to bring them all in here. I want to go walking around like an army of 100 people with the shirts one day, like some sort of street gang wearing the question. That's it. And then that's it. That's freedom. That's freedom. Even though we're kind of conforming, we're all wearing this, oh, we're just wearing all your shirt, we're like a new uniform. It's like, no, this is the uniform that breaks uniforms. Uniform code. Uniform. Uniform. Like one form. This is the uniform to end all uniform. That you were sold was official. Official uniform. To end uniform. Your uniform isn't even right. You need to explore the whole surface. And we're going out with a question. Isn't that funny? We're a strange little alien gang. And we got to do this alien invasion. And that's why they're slowly saying, well, the government's got to come clean with what it knows about aliens. 2 weeks in the New York Times, just 2 weeks ago. I mean, I'm listening to NPR today, and I'm like, what is this, fucking coast to coast? They're talking about alien this shit, and then people phoning in going, well, at least when we finally found out where we're from, and if they had a hand in creating us. Oh my God. What if there is some off-world entity, but it's interdimensional? Like a fruit fly, right? Just shows up out of this. Maybe sugar is the porthole. Maybe sugar is the porthole. They're coming through sugar, folks. Where do fruit flies come from? Where do they come from? You leave that lemonade out or that, whiskey out for a couple hours too much sometimes, depending on the humidity. They don't come in like a swarm. They don't fly in. They don't come down. There's some scotch. They just show up. Like they did, like there was some porthole between sugar, rot, and air and energy. And this thing just says, suck off this a bit. Parasite off that. What if it's like that? So we have a macro to micro of things that are somewhat, because our science is limited, we're still carrying over all the mechanics of how air and energy works. We have so much work to do because we're still carrying over what you feel it once in a while. Well, that doesn't fucking work. That's because I thought of energy that way because when it was a ball. So that doesn't apply anymore. So a lot of things don't apply. So where do fruit flies come from? No, but really, where do they come from? I know it's funny, but somebody brought that up to me. I'm like, where do they come from? Huh, science? What's sleep? What's sleep? Why do we need to sleep? We need to sleep to dream. That's a theory. Well, how do you know that? You say that in your waking state. In your waking state, you say that you need to dream in order to have energy and think. What if when you dream, you're in an altered state, you're actually awake in another realm? And this state is really the dream state of that state. What's sleep? Insomnia. And then there's people who are permanently asleep. And I mean asleep and awoke. And unconscious and not conscious. Finally waking up. That they're being blasted from the TV frequencies. With a lobotomy. A digital lobotomy. That's right, you heard it here first. Digital lobotomy. Copyright Math Powerland. Go ahead, try it. Try it out. Try it out on Comedy Central. Fucking thieves. This is where it's going to happen. With all the superheroes and the geniuses. This place here. That's where we all meet. And what's fun is we're going to put these in every city. And it's going to be an automatic brain magnet. It's just all the smart ones in that town. All the smart ones in that town. And then So at some point, they're going to be like, whoa, the smart ones are getting together. That's usually when they fucking freak out and have their world war. They know we're getting together now. And they're doing their damnedest to keep us online where they can control us. And then just keep us on ice while they have their fakes shape around us this fake narrative that makes us all look like kooks. We pushed that back by calling they were doing that. We created a bit of a battlefield here that's, full of conscious actors that are aware that this invisible thing that the rest of the newbies and the fools think is just the chaos of happenstance. They don't understand that there's agitators sent in to, destroy curriculum, destroy character assassinate, do gang stalking, knowing that the person is going to not adhere to their quackery, but they can now revert on that person that's not joining the group. But we called it, and it failed, and there's a battlefield going on right now, and people are worried. Where's it going? Well, help me. I made a place for us. This is part of it. There's more that way. There's more that way. There's more that way here. We're going to get behind the real deal, like a real expedition, a real flat earth meetup, convergence of people that understand, there's so much that we know. The rest is fine as theory and as a fuel to imagine what the outcome is going to be, but we need to move towards an outcome. We need to represent. Literally, if there was ever a time outside of this bullshit rap industry where the word represent needs to happen, it's flat earth. It needs to represent. It needs to represent itself. It needs to represent what it initially means and how it started. And it needs to represent a cool vibe. It needs to represent, people who are just smarter because they're open. Smarter because they stepped outside the box and they said, okay, how is it you get to globe? And they looked and they saw that it comes down to people saying if and a theory. The earth is a ball. And then you have pictures of military and a space agency. And you're like, wow, they could pull this off with the way they lie about everything else. Right? Manipulating the public every day here with toothpaste and TV shows and commercial breaks. Really? So they could pull this little theater off, no problem. This theater here. Until, somebody shows up, with the simple question. What is it? So what is it? Photo or painting? How would you know? See, I could do this. Oh, look at that. Graven image. Because I tried to stick the infinite creation of God onto a piece of paper. It becomes graven. I tried to put like, you're trying to say the mind of God by saying the amount of creation. And then you package and sell it to me with a cartoon that I'll never see, but you make me believe that one day you're going to have little spaceships for us to go around and look at our little ball. And you flatten our mind with that ball. You make us a one-dimensional mind with the ball. How ironic. Going flat makes the head open up, 720. And then outward, outer space. And then everything becomes bigger. So this moment where we can be here and then go out one night, like 100 of us, or a day at a concert, just show up on the street. Just every street like this, 100 people with photo or painting. Not flat earth, everybody's got a stigma when they see flat earth. It wasn't supposed to happen that way, and they hijacked it. It was supposed to happen, alien invasion, just shirts going photo or painting, and then that's it. We start from there. And it's just what they see, but oh my God, photo or painting. How do I know? How do I know? I don't know. Oh my God. And then the whole thing. 100 people on an intersection, busy, lunchtime, center of the city, all the shirts, people just sunglasses with their shirts, like alien invasion. Instead, you got these idiots walking around with a stupid little flat earth bubble cartoon disc saying flat earth. I mean, you have to take it apart. You're walking around with it, they're just going to go on the web, and they already have Google putting all their fake agents on the first page of each Google page. I can't control this because he is the father of the airways. He is the prince of the airways. This character, the devil. The airwaves, electronics, surging power supplies and cords, burning and flatlining cords that element and power, a device. From the car moving, to the fuse, to the modem, to the broadcast capability, to even flatlining the image you see right now, and us having to toy with it and being late tonight because the screen was black. It wouldn't show the image. The camera wasn't initiating. So we service all of this. And it's not Alex Jones. And he's playing fake, so you go, oh, okay, you're doing the same thing, and now we know this guy's fake. No, this is literally on camera, me doing something. I'm not some fat pork tard screaming at the top of my lungs with a red fit face that looks like a throwback of fucking Bill Hicks and got a little contract with the CIA, and now he's in a dungeon that's some sort of fucking bunker where he could shoot his mouth off like he's one of you, but he's one of them, dum-dum. We all have chemtrail cough. You're not recovering from yours, right? So the money could go to something real, a space. If this thing can't pay for itself, what the heck good is it? I've been paying since 2002 into the flat earth, into watching people run off with my work and research, and I don't get any money for it. Thrilled, it's getting out there. But then they started to twist it while they make a profit off of it. And you spent your money, and I warned you they're going to do that. This person's not worth their weight in salt. And they're like, well, I got bit so far. Well, you got bit when I warned you, and now I'm doing it. You got to support what's going on here, because it has to at least pay for itself. With a metric of 300 million, help me out here. You can't fail me. I can't fail you. This thing here has to have at least the support to just go forward. That's it. Not make a profit. Although the money that we make will be the capital for very expensive research to cross the ice and endeavors. But it has to at least pay for itself to exist in one node. That's it. And then from there, I can continue to service this with all my profits as a painter. Right? I should be painting. That's what I'm good at. People should be converging on the paintings, discussing paintings, pretending to be photos, and the government's involvement in that. And then, what's going on? Let's settle this with an expedition. And then, boom, music and party. And then we're selling stuff that's going to be wake-up tools for anything that's obviously corrupt that the government now is complicit and openly doing to you and me and the world. And it's out of control, and they're getting away with it by misinforming the public that it's actually a solution for their health or their finance. It's a lie. Okay? You're not doing the fluoride for my teeth. Okay? So there's many things we can go through right here, and then we would call it a place where we perfect the government. We keep it honest, right? We keep it elected. We keep it representative of pure capitalism, the drive to move forward and compete and find out new things. That includes exploration of the surface, right? So, but it's got to at least take care of itself. I can't just continue to, and everybody in the flat earth, you know, just, I'm going to have a life, right, somehow. And I've got to think about, like, well, this could be anything, this place to me. I would want it no more than to be a place for flat earth. That's what I would like. I don't want to give this thing up to something else and then go do another one and then do another one. This one's cool. This one's cool. You'll like this one. And it goes on. And it's in Las Vegas. So, and you need a tool. So I could talk about this shirt. I could talk about this shirt. I literally, like, can talk. An infomercial style channel, right? And that's what's fucking funny. Is if I start to become an infomercial for this fucking question, that's what's going to be funny. Because I'll do it, folks. Because this is the best infomercial in the world. This is the greatest product in the world to talk about. Like, to walk around with this and then have to deal with, like, the people that are coming up to you and the kind of conversation you're going to have with them. This is this is a topic that could be discussed ad nauseum for 6 hours, where you buy it and you get a free set of steak knives. This question, I have no problem with that. Or like some sort of, I don't know, maybe a level. You know what? Maybe we'll start doing that. Do you want to start? Isn't it? Where is it? It's right around here. It's the levels right there. Do you want to get the level? If you got something that's vertical on the level, right, or on the ground, and you could take that, you line up your bubble right there, boom. It's a great level, and you could walk around, basically, downtown. With the shirt and the level, you just walk around, and you wait for it. And then you pull it out, and you tell them, no, it's not like that. It's like this. Watch closely, and then boom. So you walk around with the shirt and the level, and also it's $70 if you want a custom-made shirt with whatever logo you want and a level. And I'll send you out the level. These are very good levels, very strong levels. I think it could drop like 10 stories, and they won't bust. So, but don't start throwing it off to test that, okay? And they go, Matt, it didn't last 10 stories. Matt, level with me. The level didn't last 10 stories. You lied. So, anyways, I think it says something like that, like 10 stories or 10 feet. So just don't drop the level, right? Because there's glass in there and you might break it. You know what I mean? You have people up there throwing the level down. So we're in the business now to sell levels and shirts. Get it out there. Boom, you're supporting the space. You're going to be supporting all the debates, all the exhibits, all the product launches for new innovations and research and steam engines and steam power and hydrogen converters and all sorts of things. Things that transform snow into hydrogen to power vehicles. So we'll be exploring those possibilities here, like with drawings and people who've submitted stuff to me, because I mentioned, how are we going to perpetually power our equipment? Well, we have ice. We have hydrogen locked in the ice. So this is the idea. We make things here. We pitch things here. We get investors. We get personal patrons. And then we get donors who want a one-year pass at $100 for any event or function here, or assist a live broadcast, or just come in first class lounge whenever you're in town and see what we got going here. And then there's people who will be coming per event, contributing just for the event, maybe not even getting the shirt. But you just walk around with the shirt, keeps the space building out and keeps it going. And so, and I want to see all that go down here. And I want to have those things videotaped. And I want people to be able to rent that moment like in a video store. Stuff that you won't even be able to get, you know what I mean, on YouTube. It's like in-house, it's a different edit, it's different things that weren't shown on the internet. And there'll be also like books of famous threads on social media where people were debating. And so you'll be able to like learn really quickly how to handle yourself. And equally, like, you know, a Glober, if you want to come in here and learn how to defend your model, right? Because we're a wealth of information about the globe, more so than the globe. So, yeah, this place is going to be like parlor, study, Indiana Jones, Picasso, Columbus, new design, Tesla. So it's going to have, we're going to unveil a cement. I'm going to unveil a sample of cement that I believe, well, I shouldn't say I believe, but I'm moving towards conclusion, right? I believe will be the strongest recipe of cement in the world. Moving towards that. I will be doing that here. I know I have a couple ingredients that I'm going to add into something, and then it's going to have a different effect. It's going to be very strong. Because I look at cement a lot, and I don't like what's happening to it. I don't like what's happening to it. I don't know what's coming out of it. We need to seal it. It's toxic. People are going into homes with cement, and then they're putting glue on it. They didn't even seal it. They got a wet glue that never, ever dries. The vapor barrier from the cement's coming through. And you're walking on this barefoot, and it's going up your crotch. It's going up your crotch, all those gases daily. So we got technology already on the ground. We're already on the ground, in the field. We're on site. We're moving. And we know what it's like to move across the surface. You know, it's like a strange ambition for a flooring tech company, but we understand, you know, what's going on with the ground. We understand chemistries. We understand the ground. We understand making things level and flat. We understand, you know, where it can break apart, water table. So we're really into the foundation, the ground, the dirt. What's this building? I'm putting a floor down. That's art. What's it on? Where? And how is it? Is this sealed up? Same thing. Sealing your. We're into using this space to discover what kind of coatings technologies, combination coatings and insulated coatings, plus metals and then insulations will withstand, you know, deep freeze temperatures. So we've got answers and pieces of those puzzles solved here already. That's the foundation of this. This having its unique, you know, mark. This is the brand. Every studio we build out, it's not like McDonald's where you walk in and it's always brown and yellow or whatever it is, their scheme for the next 5 years onward, and then the next cycle of, you know, vomit design. Our brand is that it's always a different floor, but the thing is the floors are done in a cool way. So the branding is a kind of branding that is unique. The branding is unique. It's not like one universal thing or design. And when we're in that town, be it China, yeah, right. For those fucking monkeys, let us. Anyway, so We got to somehow penetrate China, get it flat down there. But we got to crack open China like an egg, to put it in Bozo's terms. Yeah, it reflects the environment that the club's in. You know what I mean? It reflects the floor will be of that area. So, you know, we're not stupid. We're coming in and imposing a design. We want to blend in, but obviously we get to be unique each time because nobody's doing floors like this, like with a stone or some effect. No one's thinking of floor design fashionably to walk on that fashionably, and that as a pattern, a cut, a jewel, a design that you would wear as a dress or you would drive as a car, but it's with a floor. Of course it's with the floor. You walk on it all day. You know, it should be an extension of your personality. It should be built to reflect you. We can even give you the tools for you to do it yourself, and we'll be moving in that direction too. Or you could do flat earth maps in your bedroom if you want with this stuff. And then when you got people over in your living room, well, you don't think it's flat, and you push over the vase, pick up the piano. Okay, you see here? This is where we are. And then you go through it, it's on your floor. So we're going to be doing a big one in the back, and then we're going to have that as a model that you could do yourself, and you could procure the resin through us, and then you could put these maps, and we'll show you through the videos how you can do your own place, right? But if you fuck it up, it's because of you, not because of me, because I'm walking on it, and it's fine. And you better watch out. I don't want to be liable if you don't know how to handle this stuff. So, and it's expensive. If I'm not doing it, it's cheaper, but it's expensive stuff. But hey, you get to have like a design, and you get to do it yourself. We're all into doing it ourselves. And you know what? I'd rather do some painting. I don't want to always be doing floors. But I have the tools to coat this, get that toxic cement that's just off-gassing for decades up your crotch, sealed, get that ugly carpet out, and we're also going to be moving that too. We'll be moving shirts. We'll be moving attention and design to the floor, to the ground. We'll be doing maps. We have maps. We have a Teespring store, Powerland. We have a nice commercial coming out right now. That's right. Eat it up, you fucking enemies. Because you think you're going to stop this thing from being an economy? No. We're moving towards making sure that the flat earth becomes its own economic powerhouse. It's not going to be labeled some Waco cult. It's not going to be labeled some weird radical group, political group of commie Nazis, all right, or some disheveled, marginalized, angry white men in a dimly lit apartment yelling on fucking YouTube. It's not going to be that, like we are now. But not at all. It's not going to be that. So it's going to be something cool. It's going to be user-friendly, not prickly to grab. And it's going to be fun and hip. And we're working with the modern day flat earth community online, which is going to be growing into a Facebook app sooner or later, where it'll all be just flat earthers. It's like Facebook, but just flat earth. You know, you have to answer these questions, and then boom. So everybody's like we can be off Facebook. And actually, I think Flatbook is going to be so big that that it could actually destroy Facebook. It could actually destroy it. And we'll protect ourselves from having them interfere with the open, free communication. So the modern day flat earth community will be the Facebook or the Flatbook, predecessor or, incubus to something very big, we hope. So all this is about, like, we're branding an expedition, and this is the topic they don't want us to talk about. So yeah, I'm coming in like exactly like with their model of capitalism. They say this is all free enterprise. Okay, well, I'm coming in, I'm marketing an expedition and merchandise and all that to support the financing of an expedition in the manner you've never even done once in the history of the known world to Antarctica. And that's like more than one fucking person does a whole crossing. Witnesses, teams, and that's what we're doing here. And I'm coming in and testing how free this enterprise is. This free enterprise, How free is this democracy where I get to be a capitalist? Yeah, because I'm going to come in full throttle, full busyness, right? With floors, technologies, people, power, a voice, science, education, art, music, poetry, books, the whole thing. And then you're going to deny us crossing. And we're going to get that documented as well. So we forced you into your little World War III rat corner where you're just itching to press the button on all of us. And that was also called out, that flat Earth would cause the chaos. From 2003 to now, to get where it is, you had to start planning that World War III threat back in 2012, right? 2013. Start the rumblings, right? Right, with Syria and Russia, right? And the Crimea thing, right? Yeah. But we called it in 2002 as well. So many people saw me call what you did when nothing was going on with Russia back in 2002. We were just running around looking for, like, bin Laden. Go back to that mindset. Russia wasn't even on the radar. Russia wasn't even on the radar, even, like, mentioning 9/11, which was weird. Whatever. But they're the big kid in the schoolyard now. They're here to muscle in, like the moon landing and outer space and whatever. Shut up. You watch. Because they're the one that controls the rocket up to their little fake space station theater. So they're in charge fakely, right? While we point missiles at them, we get lifts up in their rockets. Stupid collusion. This is collusion. You're getting lifts up in the missiles, you dummies. You can get more colluded than that. Hey, can you get a lift up in your warhead to the space station? We can't make warheads that powerful. Rocket. It's a missile. It's just not packed with dynamite on the end. So we're doing this thing here, every day. And now they're peppering the aliens. Turns out the Pentagon think exists. They spent a lot of money. They threw like a figure, 22 million, saying that, and this is just all last week. So we forced them into all the little plans they had to do. When Flat Earth came out, they weren't expecting it. So it forced them to accelerate all the plans they were going to do, but on their own watch. Flat Earth was like, all right, what the fuck? Go ahead, do your thing there. Your World War III, it's flat, it's a painting. Right? No one's ever seen his point of view. Do your space travel. Yeah, you failed. Yeah, I'm going to tell them that you're going to fail, and it's just for show. Yeah, do it all. You all failed. Oh, now you're launching at sea. Oh, you're launching your rockets at sea with some private company. Guy who used to run or made PayPal. Yeah, like he made PayPal. Yeah, he dreamed it up. He dreamed up PayPal. Yes, he did, Matt, and you give him a lot of credit just by denying him that because, yeah, he's that smart. No. PayPal's almost like its own money. In the beginning. It could have been. It's worse than Bitcoin. Think about it. Right? They give you credit, all this stuff. It's not some guy that just started that. You don't just start that. Start a bank. You don't just start a bank. Just start a bank. I'd like to do that. Go ahead, try to start a bank. See what happens. It's not like the old days when you could start a bank with the family. If you got grandfathered in with your bank, good for you. Well, go ahead, start a bank. Try to start a bank. Try to start a money. How Bitcoin gets away with this? Anyway, so we're going to actually also go into making money, like I said the other night. We're going to make a flat coin. We're going to make flat coin here, right? It's going to be the treasurer, Math Powerland. It's going to be an official coin. It's going to be backed by this space and all the spaces that build out. And all, let's put it to a GDP, a gross domestic product of the flat Earth economy. Now that GDP, we've got about 2 million paid online CIA cyber patrol going into social media and monitoring. Right? A lot of them are in the flat Earth. We have union comedy writers on Comedy Central writing for the talk shows or any channel. You have speech writers for the president. You have people selling maps, people selling shirts, people selling caps, people selling tracks, people selling music, new security points being put up. Ross Sea Sanctuary for the sea bass. Right? You can't even go there anymore since the flat Earth. Now it's like hundreds of millions of dollars going into that. All the channels, all the tickets, all the shows, all the symposiums, all the flights, all the gas, all the food, all the dinners, all the mixers, all the advertising dollars on the Facebook pages, to Facebook, telescopes, Nikon camera, zoom lenses, visiting NASA, books, Stephen Hawking, flat earth books, printing, paper, newspaper articles, journalists, their pay to put the article about the flat earth in The Guardian, in the UK Telegraph, in New York Times, in Time Magazine, the Daily Mail, the Daily Metro, New York Daily, all that stuff. Those guys writing at their desk, on the clock, filling up the car to go do that article about the flat earth. The statues, the flags, myself, my floors, my paintings, my shirts, everything else I brought up that we're planning to do here. Auctioning off a real-life replica artistic sculpture of Stephen Hawking in a wheelchair that I'm going to wheel around Vegas. I'm going to do that here. We're going to do that here. He is the oldest, sickest man alive. Stephen Hawking is the oldest, sickest man. It's horrible. You know what I mean? What if he becomes the oldest man ever? he outlives like the healthiest man. He's like, it's like the guy who ever lived the oldest ever was the sickest man. Okay. He was never dead. They kept him alive for science. It's the only guy who can't move anything, but he's got something that reads his thoughts. Hand it out to the other invalids and paralyzed people. Keep hogging it for this guy to spew like he's not talking. There's nothing communicating. This is spread the joy. Give it to everybody who's got his condition. It's multiple sclerosis. Something like that.
ALS.
ALS. That's the Lou Gehrig's disease, isn't it? Right. So, and you know what? I'd like to finally have him here, and then we get to do real or fake. Like which one is the one I made, and which one is the real one, right? I guarantee you, you're going to pick mine. I guarantee you. I'm going to wheel him around, and then people are going to come up to Stephen Hawking, and I'm going to say, would you like his autograph? And I go, yes, please. And then I'm just going to take a piece of paper, I'm going to sign it for him. And it's going to be my name. And they'll go to the channel, they'll go here, they'll know what's going on, and we'll advertise this place. So it gets to be like a tool that I create, that you fund by buying shirts. That's an extra tool. I get to wheel around and we film. Then you get to watch the video and you laugh your head off. So you fund these experiments too. And then that goes even more viral. And then we don't know what happens until we do it. Once we three-dimensionalize it, that's where like it has all these effects, right? In the fourth dimension, like our reality, like what we all connect as three-dimensional is the fourth dimension. So we three-dimensionalize this project where I wheel him around, me wheeling around Stephen Hawking, that I create and I sculpt with the help of a 3D printer, and then like a broom pole and clothes hanger, and and then the head, and then just put the shirt on the clothes hanger. And Will I burn in hell for this? No, but if he lied about space, he has to ask for forgiveness, or have that machine, ask for forgiveness. He needs to repent. You need to repent somehow. You need to 2 blinks for repent, and then was it 2 blinks for repent, and then 3 blinks for forgiveness. That's right. So we want to do all that here, and I want to get anybody who's like an expert, right? Provided you don't have a criminal record, you're welcome to do any kind of production here. You know what I mean? I just don't want to have that attached to the place. It's unfortunate, but there are going to be some things where we're going to do some exhibits for people that we believe are wrongfully accused. But if you got a lot of criminal records, like a lot of whatever on crimes on your record, then it's not the best situation. So that's my only concern. But then again, it's a sting on the flat Earth. Everybody is law enforcement. It's like it's going to shut the flat Earth down. So, but yeah, that's the idea. This is a cozy environment that I want to open up for live audience to see their favorites, or just new ideas and actually new collisions that are going to become the next big thing in flat Earth or globe Earth or on the new Earth or on Earth or in the known Earth. Like the extended Earth to be determined, right? The disk dome. Okay, dome more land, as long as your dome just excludes the possibility of more land masses and suns that rotate around these little landmass areas. Because that would be possible. Some sort of like electromagnetic canopy, of course. But if you really need that spherical thing, you have to ask yourself, why does it need to be spherical so much? Are you doing carryover indoctrination from globe, where you need some sort of bulbous cap, at least half a ball, at least half? There's got to be a ball somewhere. They wouldn't have told us, but please don't tell me I was completely humiliated. Don't tell me. Just at least half a ball. There's got to be a ball in there somewhere. But if I say like a puddle, it's just because I know when they say dome, there really are like, it's a mathematical exact, it's not like going to be like an expanse or a puddle of energy, and inside is like a pancake. And not like a pancake, like a perfect like IHOP pancake. I mean like, it goes out. The thing itself is, we don't know where it ends. I don't know where it ends. I know that the curve doesn't add up to the curve to make this. So we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to end it up with a word from one of the back the view count, the total amount of videos from like 15 million, 10 million, back down to 6. Every 6 months, going back down to 6 million. So it's like, wow, they're reducing it, and that's just the 15 million in the U.S. You just cut off like 8 million, and it's reaccumulated again back to like 15 million or 10 million, and I've seen you cut it back to 6 million total videos on YouTube in the U.S. like 4 or 5 times now. So we're looking at total amount of videos in the U.S., probably like 30 million, 24 to be like modest, but that's in the U.S. So worldwide, when you go in every other Google Russia, Google Europe, Google France, Google UK, it's all different. You're getting like millions there too. So the total is like, we don't know. And now it's like, so now I'm glad that we actually got to the point where we made sure that they didn't hijack the complete narrative with the fucking stupid shit. Dome, and at least we kept it like, okay, we kept more land. We kept more land in the game.
Right, because there's no proof for anything else.
But they have been making a play to drown that out completely. But I think that we succeeded. There's enough. I mean, for the millions that are going up a day, videos. I think we succeeded at keeping it open that there's more land. And that was a lot of work, and we had to be quick because they were coming in with this narrative and they were trying to drown it out. We succeeded in keeping this in play. So it doesn't look like this crazy shit they're trying to make it out to be. So they could take it apart in the news. So we did succeed at that. How much longer will that be before they lose their patience if we keep spreading that there's more land? Or how much longer will that be before it's completely wiped out and it's just flat Earth is a stupidity that they're going to try to paint it as? I don't know. But we have a tool right here. We have a tool right here. We're here in the Flat Earth Club in Las Vegas. We got a front. We got this area. Sorry, the roof is ugly. I shouldn't be filming the roof. Roof's going to be spray painted one solid color. You won't notice it. And so, and then there's the front. There's going to be some artwork and stuff over here. We're going to have a place where there's going to be production in this room. There's another room that way. And then there's, I don't know, it goes on and on that way. And it goes on and on back there. I mean, you can even see, like you see way back there. You see like the view? We even got the view looking out. Hold on a second. We even got the view looking out to Antarctica here. Right, so you got the view, right? We're looking out. Right, so we're looking out here. You're looking out across Antarctica right here. So we've got the whole view in Vegas on top of it. Yeah, we're looking out. We're basically on the other coastline of Antarctica. The view is the other coast of Antarctica. And we're looking out, and it's just a whole new world that way. So that's how far it goes that way. It goes pretty freaking far. It goes pretty freaking far. That's the view. Say that again. See there? Back there? That's the looking outside, sunset, over the ice, that way, real far. So, this is the quiet before the storm. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. And then a Happy New Year to you too. Happy Flat Earth. And for those that didn't make it and supported us, let us know when you're going to be in town. And if we're not going to have an event that period, we'll definitely receive you. We want to meet our donors. And you have a pass waiting for you as well, a card to pick up. So yeah, there's a membership for the full year. You get to come out here and see any kind of event that's going on. And there's also per event. Our first big event we're going to have here is going to be March. Gosh, what is it? The first Friday of March. First Friday of March in Las Vegas. So if you want to find out details, mathpowerland@gmail.com. If you want a shirt, there's a PayPal button right in the description of this video. Just hit $7 for shipping in the U.S. And what was it? We said 45 with a level.
45 with a level.
45 with a level. And 70 custom shirt, 50 custom shirt, 70 custom shirt with a level. We send you a level. I'm on the level about that. So basically, you walk around and then you are equipped. You have everything it takes. You have the shirt, photo or painting. You're armed with a level, so you can measure it out right in front of them and explain it. And you're good to go. And then you could look at every other thing that, you could psychologically apply as pressure. How would you know? You got to believe. So you believe it's round. So you're in a belief system, right? So this shirt, or the photo or painting shirt, we got a whole stack of them right there, ready to go out and arm like a generation. A simple question that will shake the empire to its knees. And I mean it. Huh? And those who have the shirt know what I'm talking about. Those who have the photo or painting little wizard shirt, walking around with that, this here, this thing, walking around. I could do this all day, folks. I'm actually thinking about running an infomercial out of this place, and you get to come and hang out and party and have a cocktail. Just like I'm going to have like an infomercial running out of this just to sell this shirt. Just to sell this shirt, photo or painting. That's it. That's it. And that will get this place going. We will get going, and we will spread across the known earth until our voices are so loud and in such numbers that they have to let us cross. And we have our own funds from this huge operation that's fueled by you. You walking around, waking them up, affecting their mind, not infecting it, affecting their mind with a question they should have asked, photo or painting. Graven image, what do you mean by that? That's pretty heavy. I tell them it's a band. I just can't be bothered sometimes, so I wear this. But it still programs them. It still deprograms them. It still gets through. It still affects them. It still wires them or rewires them, whatever way you want to. It's just about a thought moving another thought out of the way, right? And it's all about the brain or the mind, adhering to a thought that makes way more sense. That's all it is. We're trying to make sense of things here with our senses. And so, hey, this is a simple question, photo or painting. This is a simple question. Get to walk around. You don't have to pay for advertising space. You guys have all sorts of crap written on your fucking clothes. All sorts of crap. I got people right now in this chat, right, who got some garbage scribbled across their shirt, like New Jersey, York, 48 hiccup. I don't know, something stupid. Get rowdy, I wasn't here, or I don't know what you're saying on your fucking stupid shirt with your stupid saying. But I'll tell you, this one here is a melt the matrix moment. Walking down the street. This one gets shit done. You want to say something on a shirt that really melts everything? This is the one. Photo or painting with a globe. This is the shirt. You want to say something on a shirt? You walk around with that. That's what you say. It's the best thing you could say on a shirt. I mean, I don't want to brag about it, but it is the best thing you could say on a shirt, where it starts a very real moment with a complete stranger instantaneously. Instantaneously. And you're backed, you're protected, fortified, and you're in control. And you walk right through it. And you just went, cut some wires, deprogram, power down. And then you walked on. And that person's like, flat, looking. And then they're just having this, on the phone, looking at the picture. And then you just went through with the shirt, took it down. You might have been nervous, you might have been quivering, you might have said just the lines. Doesn't matter. That person is done. If you had the shirt on, you did it properly, it's done. They're stuck with it. It's like a virus in their mind. They'll be forever not knowing if it's a photo or a painting. They will have to come to grips with that reality. And that is when their reality comes crashing down. And we'll be here with the Psychiatry Couch. You'll be able to watch the infomercial where we send out more of these shirts. A hellish heaven, if you will. It's like if there could ever be one. But we are in a battle. We are in a battle trying to make a nice place, and we're up against the lie. We're up against the lie. So we made a nice little place. We made some room for ourselves so we can group together, talk about what's going on online, and we can see what our experiences were online with the topic Flat Earth. So this is a place where we could find out, okay, you went through that. Oh, you went through that. Oh, shit, stuff's going on online. That's not legit. So this is where we could also find out that when we meet. And what's wrong with that? Studying the web. What's wrong with that? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? And we should be able to celebrate researching research. We should be able to research the research, re-research. You know what I mean? We should be able to exchange research. We should be able to observe and research, right? You tell me not to? It's what I do. I'm a human being. Everything I do is observe, research. Research, observe, study, right? Action, conclude, navigation through the surface of things. Where do I find my place? Oh, wow. Bunch of people. Authority. Authority. Okay, authority. Okay, let's look at the symbol of their authority. Oh, it's this. Oh, this is the symbol of their authority. Okay, so let's look into this thing. And I go further and I look right at that's flat all the time and it's always painted and I'm never going to see that with my own eyes. Have I been brainwashed to think I saw this? Yes. They tried. They didn't succeed. But they succeeded with a lot of you. You never saw this. This is how this thing goes down. You want to talk about this thing going down in flames? You got to start with the picture. You can't go in there with a fucking cartoon dome with a disc without addressing their cartoon first. You can't battle a cartoon with a cartoon. You know, you're putting one cartoon against the other, and yours is pretty pathetic. And I'm not going to just, start painting the cartoon of that as well. Not until I cross Antarctica. Then I can start fucking painting what the heck we're on. I'm going to do it here on the floor. Bird's eye view of the whole thing. Because I'll never have that, so I'm going to go really far. Like really far. But you have to walk on it to get the scale of it. It won't make sense on a wall. You won't be able to picture it in the scale. It's going to be too... Because you'd have to be so far up to get the amount of surface area, continental ice and like these geothermal. It's a completely different structure. So to put it vertically, I'm adding an impediment. But if I put you bird's eye like a giant, so I put it on the floor, you'll get a better grasp of the scale of reality, of what you're probably on. So we'll be doing that in the back room here on the floor. So you'll have the whole flat Earth, and then we'll have posters and stuff of that as well that you can get, and we're working on that. And that is going to be pretty accurate, like depiction of entry points to other areas. Now, when we get to the other areas, that's where we're going to be getting into folklore, theory, hunch, belief, artistic interpretation, like Hyperborea, Atlantis, Eden, right? So let's say these are big areas, like the size of Earth with the amount of continents in Earth. Hyperborea has that many land masses in Hyperborea's section. Eden has that many land masses in Eden. Right now you're in Nod. You're in Nod. That's where Cain was cast out to. Guarantee you you're in Nod. Guarantee you you're not. How do I know all this? Is it like spiritual DNA? Is it like wired into my core being? Like my spirit has like a electrical, design to it, and I communicate it, but it connects to something that really happened? I mean, do I have physical and spiritual evolution DNA? Do I have DNA of everybody before me? Of course I do. I have everything that it took to make me, like you have everything it took to make you. Within our bodies and our cells, we have the cells of, our parents and their parents, parents, and then the cousins, and then it branches off and it goes off. And you have the energy from all those beings through the ages, and then you have that going on and on and on. And you are the latest version of that route, of that direction, right? Of that spiritual result of like thousands, if not millions, of like different people going through to make you what you are today. Not like the beginning, that when it was just less people making people then. Or was it always like this? I don't know. But you are definitely a physical manifestation of everything that it took to get you here. The only thing you don't have, and you probably have like the energy of all those who passed out of this body also floating somewhere around in a collectivity. So then we all tap into that as well. The only thing we don't have in each other is each other. And that's our difference. But we have everything else that it took for the other to be. I just don't have his or her take on it, of what we're saying. So we get to learn different angles on things, especially if we all wake up to something. And it could move fast. Is this a threat? Well, I'm curious to see at what point, because the only way it could be a threat is if the reality we live in is false. And they need to protect it. That's the only reason why Flat Earth and this place would be a threat, is if it is true. They are lying. So they can't really move on it overtly. So that's fantastic. That buys us time. Because in the end, we're just trying to do the scientific method and cross the ice. Except we're doing it in a high-stakes town, right? You're doing it in front of the whole world. And we're going all in. And we got a store in the front, with 20 rooms that way. And we're going to be on the street tomorrow. We're going to be on the street tomorrow. Live streaming on the street, us moving these shirts. So this is an infomercial that's never going to end. Until we're across the ice. That's right. Now we go to infomercial level. But this is the Willy Wonka rock and roll version of the fucking infomercial. This is it's an infomercial. I produce an infomercial. What do you sell on it? I sell these photo or painting shirts. That's what I do. Why? Until we cross the ice of Antarctica and prove the Earth is not a ball. It's basically more land and it's flat. Oh. Yeah. You want a shirt? Do you want a shirt? All day. I have nothing better to do. And you know what? I'm going to be doing paintings while I do it. So I'll be funding extra little beautiful things here. And also things I've got to take care of, just in general, because I've got, a lot of special things that are coming. So, and that's also going to help the expedition one day. If it's not through me, it's going to be through my kids. So yeah, we want to make sure that you guys are taken care of before I also have my attentions on something else. So we definitely want to, we're extending our hand to people in the community to want to make this work and make this thing like something fun. And that's why I'm going to bring out one of the first producers, talent and event coordinator at the Flat Earth Club, to the microphone to meet you for the first time here. And he's really been helping out with the build out here. It's been fantastic. And I'm going to present to you Stephen William Engelhardt, the man who's also in charge of the modern day Flat Earth community. Buddy.
All right. Right. So we're here. We have a space. It's Flat Earth headquarters, Las Vegas. My name is Steve Engelhardt. I'm running the event coordination for the space we have here. We need people to participate in this. Beginning the first week of March, Friday, March 1st, we want to do an event here, live event, a live streamed event, live studio audience. We want to reach out to Rob Skiba. If anybody has any connections with them, we're going to reach out to him, find his email, send him an email, do it proper. We want to bring him here, give him an opportunity to say his piece here in our space, in front of a live audience, have real people in the audience go around with a microphone, get to ask questions in person. We're going to charge,
We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out with the performer and all that. But for example, I think what Steve's trying to say is basically, there's going to be many presenters. He would like to produce Rob Skiba, and so yeah, go on, take the floor.
Right. But the main thing is just that we have a space here. We need people to participate in this, be it buying shirts, donations. It sucks having to ask for money. It's hard. We're trying to do this really hard, but it needs to be funded. NASA's got a budget of billions. These people that are on videos, doing videos, for 5-hour-long videos, sitting at their computers, talking about domes and stuff. They just sit here and do videos, and how are they getting money? Who knows? But we're doing this. We're paying for this. Haven't had a lot of support here. Really, I've tried. I know Matt. I've tried doing things on my own websites, things like that. It's hard just to get people on Facebook to do anything. It's hard. Getting somebody to actually give money without knowing where it's going. But we actually have a place, a physical brick and mortar place here in Las Vegas. You look, the stratosphere is right. It's right there. We're right next to the stratosphere. Come here, check it out. You're welcome here.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's basically he's going to be doing. Thanks a lot, Stephen. He's going to be doing reaching out to certain people that the team here thinks they would like to see. I would also invite them to present, debate, maybe even mixing people up, and people come in here also produce their own thing. And then Stephen's going to be the go-to on like lighting, tech, power, source, promotion, logistics, the city, street, and all that stuff. So it's not like we're going to leave you hanging. And also enough heads up, like where you can invite your people to come to an event, like enough production time, enough discussion what you're going to need, and blah, blah. We have a projector. We have surface to project on. We have stage. We have lighting. We have a certain amount of seating. More can be accommodated. We definitely do a no-shoe policy as well, where sometimes we just have cushions and people just hang out on the floor. Floors are extremely clean here. They're extremely clean here. You don't want to be here when there's nothing going on here, because I'm just cleaning the floor. So you can reach Stephen at also your Facebook page.
You can find me on Facebook, Stephen William Englehart.
Stephen William Englehart.
And you can reach me by email, steve@solopppg.com, as in Papa PPG.
Okay, so you can reach solo at ppg.
Steve@solopppg.com is my email, or find me on Facebook, Stephen William Englehart.
Yeah, and then you also run the Modern Day Flat Earth Community
page, and we're starting up a group for the donors to this place.
Yeah, and there's going to be a special group, closed group for official donors, because we had a nice donors party where people showed up on New Year's who donated previously to enjoy the future that they contributed to, and they got a year pass, and they got to hang out here and enjoy the space, brand new, fresh, and meet people who were also very serious about this. So we had a very good time. We're going to be releasing some footage of that, and we're also going to be promoting musicians that I collaborate with, like the good stuff on iTunes, some fun stuff. So you're going to hear some stuff from Chief Crow and myself, but it was Chief Crow pretty much putting all that together and just taking me and sampling and putting a beat. So there's going to be all sorts of stuff that we're going to use we're going to create an alternate reality right in the middle of their fake one.